Hello guys, welcome to the video. My name is Johnny Jidoka. This video is going to be probably the most different video I've ever made in a while because this is going to be the first video I actually talk about my faith. I won't be talking about my whole journey in regards to faith and mental health, but I will be referencing scripture. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm just gonna give you some references, and so this will hopefully give you an idea into why I still have my faith, things I've learned along the way, and things I hope to pass on. So the story we are going to be going into is the story of Elijah. Elijah was probably the greatest prophet in the history of Israel in the Old Testament. In 1 Kings 18, he basically proved that God was real, or he made a contest where the fake prophets were trying to summon fire for their sacrifice, and then Elijah, when he prayed to God, fire came down and proved that God is real, and that all those prophets that were trying to summon their God were killed. And so after this, this is the highest point of Elijah's, life. And when the queen Jezebel, it translates to one who worships Baal or prays Baal, she sent out a message saying that she was going to kill him. And so what's interesting is that it could have been, that she was going to kill him, but it could have also been like she just wanted him to feel fear. So Elijah went out, he fled with the servant. And then when he left the servant, he walked into the wilderness, the desert, so that he might die. He found a broom bush, which is an example of God's grace, so that he could rest from the heat in the wilderness. And he prayed to God that he might die because he was no better than his ancestors. I know that for some of us, it can feel that way. We've done everything, or maybe there's a high or a low point, and we feel like nothing matters anymore. We have nothing matters, and there's no point to doing anything. So an angel of the Lord touched him, woke him up, and there was some food, some bread, some water. He ate, he drank, and he slept again. The angel repeatedly, again, woke him up, said, eat, drink, for the journey is too much for you. Strengthened by that food, he walked 40 days and 40 nights into the wilderness towards the mountain of God. And so he went into a cave, and he was waiting. So a voice, let me get back up. The word of the Lord, right? The Spirit said to him, "Why have you come here?" And Elijah replied, "I've done this. Israel has forgotten you. There's no point of doing anything. I'm the only one left." So he went to the mountain of God, and a couple of things happened. There was I can't remember which order. There was an earthquake, a fire, and I think there's like a great earthquake, fire, and thunder, or something like that. But God was not in those things. He was in a gentle voice, a whisper. And then the voice of God told him, why are you struggling? Why have you ran away? And Elijah was like, well, it's because I've done all these things, and I've tried to follow God, and it's not working. So I don't know what to do. So God said, okay, so he had just walked 40 days and 40 nights to the temple, to the mountain of God. God said, go back the way you came, which is another 40 days, 40 nights. And then this is what I'm going to do. You're going to anoint some people as kings, and they are going to destroy all the people that worship Baal. And you're going to have someone to support you, Elisha. So a couple of things. God responded to Elijah through a voice. God provided a way for evil to be destroyed. And Elisha wasn't alone. And if you look, Elijah wasn't alone. He had Elisha. And if you look at the story of Elijah, he said, God, kill me. I'm better and no better off than any of my ancestors. Elijah was caught into the third heaven later whenever he left Elisha. He didn't die. God was faithful to him. So, but what do we do with all this? Sometimes when we are frustrated and anxious, sometimes we just need food and water, rest, to take care of ourselves. Another thing is to understand the verse 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and sound mind. Power translates to dynamite, dynamo, where we get that word. It's explosive, right? God showed the fire. And so after all that, we have to remember that even when we're tired, even when we're exhausted, even when we feel like we're doing everything wrong, He's still with us, regardless of how we feel. It doesn't matter if we feel this way or that way or whatever. We can't give up because He's got us. I know that this is kind of. Oh, by the way, this is 1 Kings 19. The story of the prophets of Baal is 18, but 1 Kings 19. So I just want to share this because this is my favorite story in the Bible. This is the story in the Bible that gets me through everything. When I feel like, God, why am I here? And He has a task for me, but He's also gonna sustain me. So today was a long day. Still dealing with recovering from the insomnia and everything. But I'm doing a lot better, and I am grateful for you guys and you guys listening. And look, if you're not a Christian, if you're not religious, that's fine. It's fine. You don't have to like this content. But as someone who's creating this content, this is the content I want to make. I will never pressure anyone to be anything. That's not my job. But thank you so much for watching. I hope it encouraged you to some degree, and I hope you guys have a great evening. Bye, guys.